I'm coordinating of your body parts. Have you ever wondered how you manage to do these things? Which part of your body is responsible and controlling all the activities that you should do? Don't worry, we will find the answer as we study this lesson. Beauty all learners, before we start our lesson, we would like to introduce ourselves. I'm Sergeant Panos.
I'm John Peter. I'm Joanna Malik.
I'm Brian Itaquilon.
And I'm Erickson Devanso.
And we are the reporters of nervous system.
The human body have systems that control, regulates, and coordinate process. In this lesson, let's explore how the nervous system to control, regulates, and coordinates. The nervous system is the highly complex part of the body that coordinates its actions and sensory information by transmitting signals to and from different parts of its body. The nervous system also controls the body movements, thoughts, and coordination all the activities of the body. This scientist is the father of anatomy and focused study the structure of nervous system. Herophilus was born in the Greek town of Chalcedon. He was the first to examine and report on the structure of the nervous system. He was able to do this by dissecting human cadavers, a practice that was in many places abandoned until the 16th century. The nervous system split into two major divisions. We have a central nervous system and a peripheral nervous system. We explore the peripheral nervous system later, but first, let's look at the central nervous system. The central nervous system serves as the main processing center for the entire nervous system. It consists of two main components. We have the brain and the spinal cord. The brain is split into four components. We have the cerebrum, cerebellum, the encephalon, and the brainstem.
The cerebrum is a large and located upper part of the brain that controls activity and thoughts. The cerebrum is divided into four lobes. We have the frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe, and the occipital lobe. The frontal lobe is primarily responsible function refer to a collection of cognitive skills including the capacity to plan, organize, initiate, self-monitor, and control one's responses in order to achieve a goal. Parietal lobe is primarily responsible processing your sense of touch and assembles input from your other senses into a form you can use. Your parietal lobes also help you understand where you are in relation to others that your senses are picking up around you. Temporal lobe is primarily responsible for processing auditory information with in the encoding of memory. And the occipital lobe is the primarily responsible visual processing the distance, depth perception, color determination, object face recognition, and memory formation from the eyes.
The cerebellum is located under the cerebrum that controls the response, posture, balance, and coordination. The encephalon acts as a primary relay processing center for sensory information and autonomic control. The encephalon actually divided into four components. We have the thalamus, epithalamus, subthalamus, and the hypothalamus. Thalamus serve a unique role ranging from relaying sensory and motor signals, as well as regulation of consciousness and alertness. The function of the epithalamus is to connect the limbic system to other parts of the brain. Some functions of its components include the secretion of melatonin by the pineal gland that involved in circadian rhythms and the regulation of motor pathways and emotions. Subthalamus functions primarily responsible movement regulation along with the rest of the basal ganglia. And the hypothalamus controls and regulates temperature, appetite, water, balance, sleep, blood vessels contraction, and the dilation. The hypothalamus also plays a role in the emotions such as anger, fear, pleasure, pain, and affection. The brainstem is connect the brain to the spinal cord and controls automatic functions such as breathing, digestion, heart rate, and blood pressure. For the involuntary functions, the brainstem consists split into three parts: the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla. The midbrain associated with vision, hearing, motor control, sleep-wake, arousal, or alertness, and temperature regulation that acting as a sort of relay station for auditory and visual information. Pons function to release and regulate the signals that give you the sensation of pain from anywhere in your body below your neck. Medulla oblongata is located bottommost part of your brain. It's control where your brain and spinal cord connect, making it a key conduit for nerve signals to and from your body. Medulla processing helps control like your heartbeat, breathing, and blood pressure.
The second major subdivision of central nervous system, the spinal cord. The spinal cord serves as the channel for signal between the brain and the rest of the body. That controls simple musculoskeletal reflex without input from the brain, and also spinal cord carries messages back and forth between the brain and all nerves that run throughout the body.
Now, within this elaborate system of nerves and dendrites, there is a system that regulates the functions of the central nervous system, which lie outside its major components such as the brain and spinal cord. This system is known as the peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system subdivided into two smaller systems, the somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. Somatic nervous system is responsible for carrying motor and sensory information both to and from the central nervous system. This system is voluntary control of the body that is made up of nerves that connect to skin, sensory signal, and skeletal muscles, while the cranial nerves fiber that carrying information into and out of the brainstem. The nerves help you taste, smell, hear, and feel sensation. They can also help you make facial expression, blink eyes, and move your tongue.
The autonomic nervous system further divided into the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is our vital survival. Have you ever heard of fight or flight response to danger? Well, the sympathetic is fight or flight lifts up the body to either defend yourself or escape the threat. The parasympathetic is counterbalance to the sympathetic. Response to danger, whether real or imagined. Once the threat is gone, the parasympathetic brings all systems of the body back to normal.
Now, at this point, you should have a basic understanding of the nervous system, but let's do a quick recap. The basic purpose of the nervous system is to coordinate all the activities of the body. It enables the body to respond and adapt to changes that occur both inside and outside the body. The two major parts are the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system is also divided into two major parts, the brain and the spinal cord. The brain is found within the skull or cranium, and it is made up of four regions, are the cerebrum, cerebellum, the encephalon, and the brainstem. The other half of the central nervous system is the spinal cord, and is the link between the brain and the nerves and the rest of your body. The spinal cord is divided into four regions. We have the cervical, thoracic, lumbar, and the spinal nerves, which merge to form the peripheral nerves. Now that we know the brain and the spinal cord primarily make up the central nervous system, let's look at the peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system is essentially the nervous system outside of the brain and the spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system subdivided into two smaller systems called the somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. Thank you for watching our presentation. Hoping you learned the lessons, the nervous system, and what is the purposes.